Hey guys, what's up? This is Cyclonic here, bringing you guys a slightly different video today than I've been usually bringing. Still design centered, but I wanted to get a few people in the community to send me work for feedback so I could critique them and kind of show some common things that I think would help a lot of creatives if they made these type of changes to their work or looked for these type of things. Keep in mind, these are all my stylistic preferences. You don't necessarily need to agree, but it's just as I've gotten more used to designing, I've picked up on some things that I've seen in some of the best designers' work that I think would be really good for people to know. So let's get started with this one. This is a banner made by Zakir. I'll have his Twitter in the description. So this is a banner centered on LeBron. He made a jersey swap here that's nice. Some nice effects out here. Now, the first thing that pops up to me is that this banner is very right heavy. Like the name is over here. You have some of the sponsors, but then you also have the social media over here. So what I personally would have done is that since this area is kind of less active and it's darker, move this J Dave text over here. It's white, it's brighter, it'll stick out more over here. On this lighter background, it clashes very much over here, and I didn't even notice the socials till I took a better look at it. So I'd move this stuff over here, then maybe move the sponsors over here, and then you can have the social media below it on this side, or maybe even try to combine socials and then sponsors right underneath and put some sort of like black box behind it on low opacity. That way the height of this matches the height of this plus the socials, and things look a lot better in terms of overall flow. I'm loving this honeycomb effect over here, maybe fade it out a bit more. Colors all look good. So other than that, I think there's a pretty solid header. This clash over here was the main thing that got me instantly. So fixing that is probably a good idea. Also, maybe add some lighting over here. Right now, the main focus is this is what pops out to me instantly, so maybe darken this a bit and try to make him glow in this color, make him more of the focus rather than this back stuff right here. Alright, next one, this is a YouTube header made by Perion GFX. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is that these were sent to me quite a while ago, so the designers probably have improved since then, but I'm just doing this as sort of Kickstarter video to try and do more of these later. So the colors and stuff, they look pretty good. What I don't really like is the amount of drop shadow that's being used over here. I think there's a better alternative to that. Maybe put like a black box behind it on very low opacity or something. There's also quite a lot of social medias here, and I think you could combine some of them into multiple icons for the same username, but also possibly space things out a bit more and put it over here, and maybe put the member of TNB2K over here, and that would be better. Looking over here, this is a nice touch, but the lack of like a shadow or anything over here kind of makes things look a bit odd. I'd prefer some shadow here just to create some depth and make sure this is really the foreground and these are more background stuff. The lighting here is nice. I'd make this background darker though to make this really pop out more. And then I guess when you put information on a header, I would recommend keeping the information as centralized as possible. Just looking at this header as is right now, seeing this information, going here, seeing this, and then all the way over here is this member of TNB2K, that's making my eyes move too much to get all the relevant information. So I try to find a way to make that a little easier in the eyes. Maybe what you could do is move this entire backing and foreground picture over to the left, and then that way it won't look so that you'd have space for this. Then you could put the socials over here, and then the member of TNB2K right under here, and you'll still have a fairly balanced header. But this way, when he's looking off that way, you kind of, anything over here is kind of less important. I guess it's a weird subtle thing that at least I'm feeling, that if you're gonna have him looking off this way, the main portion of the banner should be over here. But that could be a really nitpicky stylistic thing. So the main focuses here would be moving this text into a more centralized position near the other information, and then trying to find a way to get rid of the a lot of the drop shadow, make this footprint a lot smaller. Because right now it looks kind of it looks ugly to me, to be honest, to see it like this. But maybe that's just me. So let me go ahead and close that out. All right. Next one here is the Prestige Area logo made by Jared Arts. So it's a pretty solid logo here. I don't have too much to nitpick. Maybe first thing that comes to mind here is that the line width over here where my mouse is, like right above the text, is not consistent with any other line width. So making it the same line width as this or like this, I think would help the logo look a bit better. Another thing is that if you're gonna go with a maroon gold look up here, you might as well do the same thing over here for consistency. And I think it would even help create a little bit more color flow to have a maroon star here and a maroon star here. And then the 2019 is an interesting touch. Don't necessarily know whether I'm a big fan of making them move so far apart. I'd like to think that you have enough space to split these three, move them over here, these three, move them over here, and put 2019 in the middle, and then remove this spike. That might look better, but I'm not completely sure on how that would look. So that all looks good. Other than that, this logo looks pretty nice. Maybe you might not need these stars under here, to be honest. I think you're just getting too many stars. So yeah, and then the last thing, maybe this is probably a stylistic thing, a nitpick thing that doesn't necessarily need to be implemented, but I would have preferred this stuff to be symmetric. I think that would have been better to make this, because almost everything else here is symmetric other than this. To have it be, I don't know if there's a point to making it asymmetric. It might just help the logo to be symmetric. And then maybe this line width right here, I'm just noticing things as I keep talking. This line width isn't the same as this line width, or maybe it looks a little smaller for some reason, but that might just be my eyes. So yeah, but well done on the logo. Well done for sure. Okay, this one I believe was made by BuyerOG on Twitter. So it's a nice concept with the pen tool that talks over here. It's a nice concept, but what hits me instantly is that this banner is extremely saturated. This text is so large that it becomes the overall focus, which is good. But there's just so much stuff over here that your eyes can be attracted to that is a very distracting and powerful header. I would lower some of the lighting over here, make this metal gradient less weaker, I should say, and then possibly make the socials a bit smaller and thinner, space them out. This is a very odd and cramped place for the logos to be. What you could do maybe is put them on the top with this, find a way to do that. Or even make this toxic text a lot smaller, put it over here, and then have space to put the socials and the affiliations right below. That could be a good option. The lighting on him is not bad, but I'm a little bit confused as to where the lighting is. There just seems to be a lot of lighting, but I'm not actually sure where like the major lighting sources are. I guess this could be coming from this, but then I'd expect this light to be bluer, since this light is very blue. This lighting is nice over here. Maybe make this a little less opaque to really create a feeling of depth and more of a backing feeling. But yeah, the main thing, if you desaturate this header just a little bit and turn down some of the brightness things, this already starts to turn into a very nice header. And then this over here should definitely be fixed. Definitely don't want it cramped like that. Makes it look very odd, because now you have no spacing over here, but then you have spacing over here. It kind of just throws me off a little bit to do that. Alright, the last one over here is by QuestiTV, I think. There's a header for Agent 00. So here I would maybe turn up the exposure on him just a bit to match like this contrasted black and red feeling. Here, since you're gonna be, if you're using a very straight edge font like this, I would recommend doing the same, or this actually might be the same font. In which case then, if it's the same font, which I'm now just realizing, instead of using a normal stroke like this, I would go ahead and duplicate the text layer, use the bottom duplicated layer and convert it to a shape, and then you just use a shape stroke, because then these some of these will be straight strokes and it'll look a lot better for what you're trying to do here. I love the idea of trying to cut out the stroke from the agent text. I think that's cool. And then let's see here. This stuff all looks nice. Other than that, maybe put some lighting over here on the bottom. This lighting over here is nice, but it seems very small. I'd rather have made a higher spread, a higher size, low spread glow over here to really light things up. But I really like everything else on this header. If it popped just a little bit more, a little bit sharper, maybe through color balance or something like that, or just turning the exposure up a slight bit, even using color lookup to bring some of the colors out of it, I think this is a very nice header. Maybe switch out, or not switch out, I should say, put this social over here, this social over here, and make it more horizontal. That could be a good thing to do as well. But definitely a big fan of this header, so well done there for sure. So with that, that completes my first critique video. If you guys want your work to be critiqued, feel free to DM me on Twitter or just tag me in it, and I'll do my best to release another video like this. Drop a like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, or if you had a different opinion on what to do on a certain header. I'm always all ears to hear what all the other creative people in the community have to say. So with that being said, thank you for watching this, and peace.